Let's check out these fragrances from enzoscents. Let's start first with YSL Le Parfum. So this opens up very fresh from the aldehydes. You get a lot of that from the opening. And you get also some fruity nuances here coming from the apple, and may pagka-zingy, spicy ginger din siya. Then may pagka-aromatic green siya from the lavender, sage, and the apple from the opening. As it dries down, may pagka-sweet siya, but it's not too sweet compared to YEDP. It still remains a little bit fresh, but there's still hints of sweetness. Although what I like about this, may pagka-earthiness siya coming from patchouli, cedar, and may pagka-soapy nuances din siya. This is definitely worthy for a signature scent, and I do think it's very, very versatile. For the performance, I get around 5 to 6 hours of longevity with the motor projection. Unfortunately, I haven't tried the original Le Parfum yet, so I can't really make a direct comparison, but it definitely has the DNA of Y in here. Next I have here is YSL Myself. This is probably my favorite in this review, and definitely not complex smelling, but gets the job done. So this opens up very, very citrusy with a lot of bergamot in the opening, but the citruses here is not sweet or sour. Then you have this white florals from the orange blossom. It blends well with the citruses, although may pagka-laundry detergent siya for me, but in a good way. On the drip dry down, may pagka-earthy and sweet siya, but the earthiness is definitely coming from the patchouli. If I can compare this to the original, I'd say this is around 85 to 90% close to the original. enzoscents take on myself tends a little bit more sweeter and deep dry down. This fragrance is also signature worthy because it's also very, very versatile, although I do think it's quite unisex, not really masculine leaning or feminine leaning. For the performance, I got around 5.5 hours of longevity on my skin with a mild projection for the first hour. Next we have here is Prada Luna Rossa Ocean EDT. So this opens up very citrusy, although I don't really get much of the spices here. Then you have this powdery, may caramel siya, although it's not that strong, it's a little bit light. And you have this pagka-musky and a little bit lavender also. It smells very airy and light. I do get the ocean vibes here. I do think this is more of a calming ocean, a very calm one, and not your typical ocean fragrance, which is very salty and aggressive. I do think this is also a signature worthy scent, just like the others, although in my opinion, this is a little bit more sophisticated compared to the rest because of that iris and dun sa pagka-muskiness niya for me. Really great for dates, at the office, at school, definitely for formal events. It's very light and it's not that aggressive. For the performance, it lasts around 5 hours of longevity with a soft projection. Last we have here is Yanlexir Premium. So this opens up very spicy and warm from the cinnamon, and you have this booziness as well from the cognac. On the mids, it has a gourmet touch on it. It reminds me a lot of baked apple pies on top of a wooden table. On the dry down, wala na yung pagka-booziness niya compared sa opening. You have this sweet, oaky, woody, and may hints of smokiness din siya. The difference I'm picking up from this from the original, the cinnamon is a little bit toned down on the opening. It's not as aggressive on the nose. And yung oakiness niya on the dry down is not as prominent compared to the original. Other than that, I do think it still has the DNA of Yanlexir in here. This fragrance is definitely suitable for colder environments, or it's raining, or if it's heat outside. And I do think it's really, really great also for formal events and night outs. For the performance on this one, I get around 6 to 7 hours of longevity on my skin with a moderate projection. In conclusion, these fragrances from enzoscents are definitely worth for your money, despite it's a 10 ml or the 50 ml. Depends on your budget. That's what I like from them. You have two options. If you really have a low budget, you can opt for the 10 mls. But if you have the budget, you can go for the 50. And I think may 100 ml na din siya, so I'm not sure. Let's check it out. Anyways, if I can tell anything or messages from them, please release Le Mal in the Navy soon. Okay? Thank you. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the flip side. Peace.